positive off the battery, just pull your plastic cover back so it doesn't trip back onto it, and then everything starts from the back driver side for the UK, or passenger side for the rest of the world. So underneath is your amp. You can't see it too well there, but you've got your amp underneath, which we need to bypass with our new harness, and we need to go up through the centre console. So to do that, you need to take out your seat. In the back there is 3 covers which pull off. They're on these metal tabs here, so just give them a good old yank and they pull off. It start creaking, but it's not going to snap. So there's 3. There's one on this side, and then there's one on the left. Underneath there is Torx 55 screws, so undo them. There's one on the right, like I said, one on the left, and then there's one just above that hump. And then you've got 2 more on the front. Same again, trims either side, just pull them off. These trims here, sorry. Just give them a yank, and one over that side. If you find it hard, just put the battery cable back on and then move your seat back and forth just so you can get to it, and make sure you take the positive back off. So there's a Torx there, and there's a Torx on this side by here. So in total there's 5, 2 on the front and 3 on the back. Like I said, the UK is on the underneath the driver's seat, and if you've got a left-hand drive, then it's going to be on the passenger seat. Seat out, you need to obviously take the seat belt off as well. That's Torx down with the same Torx. So that's the fitting, and it is different to the different Torx, which is like that. Make sure when that goes down, that's torqued down so it doesn't come back off. So now you've got your seat out, you've got to try and basically, our wiring now is going to go through the same channel as well as going through up to the dash, through this hole here. So once you've got your amp visible, you need to take out the green connector. There's a few connectors at the back of there which you need to just leave in, so you just take the green one out, and then on our harness you'll see a green and a grey plug. Ignore the grey one for now, and then the green one just slots into that connector there. There you go. This then goes through that hole there, which will allow you to tuck the carpet back down. You're going to go up through this cut in the carpet, and then you're going to tuck this cable all the way along the side of your trim, centre console trim, and it's going to come back up through just above your gear stick. You're just going to have to fish it down through. This is sort of clipped in, but there's quite a bit of room there for you to get your hand up through, and then just tuck it through there. Tuck all the cables up underneath, or there's this one cable, and put all the carpet back, and then the next part is up on the dash. That's just the back section of this amp, just so you know that the disconnection of these plugs is just on the back. So on the factory connector, just pull that back down, and then that will release it from the amp, and then just slot that connector back into the bypassed connector. Got the seat in now. What you want to do is sort of put the back of the seat in first. It's a 2-man job, this preferably, and then tilt it in. You're going to find that your lumbar on your seat hits this pillar and also your steering wheel. Try and push your steering wheel back, push that lumbar, this left hand lumbar, in first, and then squeeze the back of the arm, back of this seat round. Also, you've got to make sure you don't smash the amp. The amp's quite sturdy anyway, but you don't want to start hitting the bottom rail of this on the amp or chewing any of the cables up, so it's probably a two-man job. Seat's a bit heavy, but it's alright. And yeah, make sure these connectors don't get smashed. There's 4 locating pins which you don't really need to worry about, but there's one there and one there, and I presume there's 2 on the back, and they fit into the chassis of the car, making sure that it's all in line, so that's not moving now. And then obviously torque the 2 screws at the front, 3 at the back. Torque the seat belt back in through there, make sure that's really tight, don't thread it though. That's pretty much it for the seat. If you're putting the cables in, you might be able to just, without taking the seat out, you might be able to just push the seat forward and tilt it, and then put that green cable connector in the back. We haven't tested that because we had too many here, so we just pulled the seat out. It was much easier. Okay, with the seatbelt, just make sure that lug there is on the inside and torque it right down, because you don't want that seatbelt coming off. The trims, they just snap back on, 2 on the front covering the screws, and then there's 2 on the back. Quickly show you them. There's that one there, just push it down in. That one there, just push that, the 4 connectors push down. That trim there just slides directly over. It slides down and then clicks. These screws from the instructions, there's one there, there and there. Take them out. There, there and there. So basically with the stereo you just got to strip it down. There's in layers. There's the front fascia, the CD drive, and then also the computer section of the stereo. So the instructions are pretty detailed. You just got to take screws off, and the layer of the top is what we need. The only thing the instructions don't show you is how to take the front of this fascia stereo off. You just need to pull these tabs up and literally just pull it away from the top of the cassette and then off the bottom, and it'll just fall out. Obviously those ribbon tabs of what you've taken off before, which connect it to the circuit board. Once that's off, everything's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going for the top deck, taking that off and then putting it back into its case, and then putting that case there back on top, so it's a sealed unit, and then all your harness will be able to connect to that, and it will be able to stow away behind the dash. Obviously because you haven't got much room, what it is just putting the screws back into the metal surround, boxing it all up just to go behind the dash. So once everything's connected from the sheet, you've basically you've got your original computer section, and then your aftermarket stereo, and it's got a stow all the way underneath there. Try and push all the cables back as best you can. If you need to put some tape, some foam tape, just to stop it from rattling, but it's going to be pretty jam-packed in there, so it's not going to really do much anyway. So stow everything away behind there on a slight angle, so you've got the original one underneath that, and you've got the new aftermarket stereo. Take your fascia, which is in the kit, undo the USB, plug the USB into the front of the stereo, and then push this back onto the lugs, which is on the side there. There's 2 pins which your original stereo pushed into. Tuck the USB through, and then you can put your hazard switch on and screw that in. And then you can stick your trim all around and click that in. And then the last step then will be to put the center console, which houses your gear stick.